Didn't you think of moving away? Oh, no, then again, San Francisco.
At last!
The Cult of
Frisco!
We are recording. And welcome. Yay! Welcome to the Cult of Frisco podcast. My name is Gary Beekler. I'm in San Francisco, California, and I am with my best friend Harry Maldonado in New York City.
Woo! It's New York City. I'm over it.
Are you really over it? Are you starting to get over it?
I'm not like over it, but it's just like this city drains you. Like it just drains you. It's a very draining city.
It's the city that never sleeps. That's what they say.
It really was. I did not get home until 3:30 last night. Got 4 hours of sleep and did my 8-hour work day. And I've been laying on the couch catching up on TV.
Nice.
Yes, hashtag adulthood.
Is that what that is? Then what am I in?
Apparently.
I'm in like grandparenthood then. Yeah. So okay. I did a podcast with Robert Cherry with the second half of the Magician's Apprentice, which was The Witch is Familiar. But I'd love to hear your rundown of what you first before we get into Before the Flood. Oh no, what's the name of this episode?
This one's Under the Lake. Before the Flood is the second part of that one.
Yeah, Hoovian.
Which would be Saturday's episode, yeah.
Okay, so Harry, I want to know what you thought of The Witch is Familiar.
I fucking loved that episode from start to finish. It was like we said in the first podcast, talking about the Mrs. Apprentice, that two-parter back to back, like felt like a series finale. There was so much, they like crammed so much into it, and just like all these little things, like when Clara is put into the Dalek suit when she actually becomes Clara Dalek, and Missy's having the field to going, say this now, and you're seeing that how they every word, like no matter, like their name will always say I am Dalek, or when they say like I love you, it's exterminate, where it's just like there is no emotion. They got rid of all the emotion. And then you have when she finally says mercy, and that's when the doctor's like, no, this is not right, there's something wrong here. The Sonic shades. Fucking shades. I was like, what the fuck? But honestly, if you look at technology now, Google Glasses, Apple Watches, it's like it's kind of like it's an easy thing. And plus cosplay on the go. You can buy a pair of like $2 glasses and be like, look, I'm the doctor. It's easy. Yeah. But the best part of the entire episode, Davros, was amazing how he manipulated the doctor into giving him what he wanted, even though the doctor kind of figured out that was the whole point. But it's just like the whole like just those scenes where he's like, I will never see the sunrise. I don't have enough energy to open my eyes one more time. It was just like, because it made me feel for him. Like it really did. I was like, oh my God, this is like heartbreaking. And then you're like, oh, he's just fucking with you. Okay, yeah, he's evil. He's evil.
Like,
he's evil.
What'd you think?
I'm still evil.
Sucker.
But it also, though, it's just like what makes the question, though, because at the very end of the episode, you have Missy being like, I have an offer for you. And it's like, you're like, so you're kind of like, oh, she can do what the doctor did, but she's now a more willing participant.
Which leads to
this
I'm wondering.
You
know, that prophecy came out of nowhere. You think that would have been mentioned before in the previous 50 years anniversary, but I still love it. The Dalek humanoid prophecy. Although there might have not been one in that timeline until that happened, and that created the timeline of the prophecy. So I'll defend Moffat there. I mean, people have already heard. Well, they will. See, I haven't put this podcast out, but it'll be out like the same day this one goes out. So you'll have heard what I've said about it. I just wanted to hear what you said about it. The Clara in the Dalek thing was just, it's so cool how it started out so funny and then it got like real. It got really dark and
it got real. And then it's like that scene where he's just like, "You killed my friend," and she's just saying, "No, doctor, it's me, it's Clara. I have died." Like, I have died. Like,
sad.
And you're like, "Oh my god!" It's like I was watching it, going like, "Oh my god, this is so heartbreaking." But also the at the very beginning, how Missy survived the finale of last year, in being in tune with the frequency that they were shooting with. And you're like, "Oh, she's a really clever bitch." It's like the more Missy's on screen, like I would watch a Missy and Clara, like
she's
spin-off
starting to steal
series.
the show.
Like the two of them together, it's like they're such the odd couple that they're perfect. Yeah. But Missy is slowly stealing. She's stealing the show.
Oh yeah,
she's so stealing the show.
Yeah,
but that's why they brought her back, was because people loved her so much last year.
Yeah, it's weird. You see some trolls on the internet once in a while going, "I hate Missy and I hate the direction of the show," and it's pretty divisive. And there's all this ratings talk, and you and I will speak about this after we give our whole episode thing, because I do have a little screed, I want to do, but it was those. So what I did was I actually spent a lot of time on it. Well, not tons. I spent like 30 minutes, but I edited both episodes together. And you can't just plop one behind the other, because it does take away from the Clara and Missy being dead. So you have to recut it and take that very beginning part, the considered the doctor. And I actually took that and put it in the middle of the episode. And I just kept with the Davros and doctor stuff for 10 minutes. And it gives you some feeling that they were dead. Because I wasn't able to separate music from audio, it's not going to be the cleanest cut, but I'm going to actually put this up, and I'll put a link so people can watch it if they want. You can watch it if you want. And the only thing I did was I took that little part where Missy goes, "I've got a clever idea," and I made that like a Marvel stinger. I put that after the credits. But if you want, I thought if they re-edit it, if I had professional equipment like Avid and I had a soundtrack instead of having to deal with, because I was cutting scenes but the music wasn't meshing, so I had to do a lot of funky stuff with that. If you want to take the time to watch it, it's a 2-hour movie and it's good, and I don't cut out a single second. I just move them around. That's what an editor does. So so let's get to the name of this episode. Harry, help me again. Is Under the Lake or
Under the Lake?
Under the Lake, which is written by not Jamie Matheson.
Is it Toby White something?
Toby Whitehouse, who did
Whitehouse,
who is famous for Being Human. And the werewolf ghost vampire.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Yeah,
I love that show.
He did the English version, and he is the front runner for showrunner of Doctor Who when Stephen Moffat exits. Again, we will address that after we give our review. This is going to be a pretty short one, so we're just going to try to rush through it. Yeah. So real quick, Under the Lake. After last week's episode, I was like, how in the you're not going to top it. That episode was so great in so many reasons, if you're a Doctor Who fan. And I'm going to make sure that's clear, that if you're a Doctor Who fan and you've been into just even the new series, that was pure Doctor Who. Right down to the cup of tea. So we get to Under the Lake, you're like, how are you going to top this? And I'm not going to say they topped it, but I thought it was awesome. I thought the ghosts were really creepy. I thought the situations were creepy. It's got a really vague ending, but it's the middle of a two-parter, and that's why it's hard. I almost think we should do these podcasts after the two-parter, after this, and
it does feel like, because the thing is, like, you make all these speculations, and then it's just like, oh, we're completely wrong. So it does kind of feel like if we do them like, the mini, like a mini movie, like here was Under the Lake and but I forgot the other with the second parts of
Before
the called
Before the Flood.
Before the Flood, yeah. And it's just especially because they are leaving you with these fucking cliffhangers where you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Even though I called the cliffhanger,
yeah,
like the moment she was like, "There's a new ghost." It's Doctor.
The freaking Doctor.
Spoilers, kids. Spoilers.
Yeah.
It's been almost a week. But I would say for this episode, I think the writing was strong, and the cast that they introduced was very likable.
Yes.
The one character that was not likable, they off really early on, so you're like, good, I didn't like you anyway.
Yeah.
They didn't like you anyway. But it's like the introduction of the four. You have the commander who's death, and her signer, who are perfect together. The little fangirl, that's like, oh my god, you're the Doctor. Oh my god, I'm a huge fan. Who kind of seems potential new. She's either they're killing her, or here's a potential companion for a proposed potential companion. Even though I kind of like I forgot their names already, but the woman who's the commander's death, I kind of liked her like how she butted heads with the Doctor, and I was like, oh, I speak sign, and he's like, oh no, I'm sorry, what was she saying?
That would be a real interesting choice of companion. Throw that one at you. Let's have. But I mean, again, I liked her character enough to where I would love to see her as a Doctor, because she would, although you would have two companions standing up to the Doctor all the time, back to back, but this one's like way more confident. Like Clara does it without a confidence. And I'll get into like Clara. The Clara and Doctor show is starting to annoy me again a little bit. Okay, because like for one, they're doing stuff like on purpose now. Like when Clara is pulling the Doctor and saying run. Now I think we're getting to go back on that though. I think this Doctor is really the Nutty Professor. He is really Einstein, and it's famous. It's famous that Einstein's wife had to pin his bus destinations on his jacket because he'd forget, because he'd be thinking about other stuff, and that makes sense for a 2,000-year-old guy. But that being said, the Clara show is getting. I don't know. I was hoping, and it did kind of happen this episode too, that they would just be she would just be a companion, just like, I'm into this, let's go. So we're getting that a little more, but I mean, you really can sense the doom. Like something's gonna happen to her. You can already sense it. Lots of foreshadowing towards that. What's going on as far as the episode? I honestly don't know. I mean, I have an idea. I love the earworm, that like, you look at something and it's a program and it's an earworm. So basically these ghosts are distress signals for whatever this alien is. And it doesn't let you die. It uses your force, your soul, as a beacon, which is horrific. I love the scene where the annoying company man dies. And you know what? It has been a long time since we had an annoying company man in a Doctor Who episode. So I think, well played. And he made a great looking dead guy. And it was cool that we saw his body and the ghost. So just to tell you that this is not like some phased body, it's a ghost. It's his soul.
It's a ghost.
And that part where the Doctor got so excited, he's like, I gotta get control of myself, because he was so freaking excited. That was cool. And he's all, it's like when I met Shirley Bassey. I'm just losing it right now. That was so funny. But
yeah, he had some good moments. I think that's because it was a strong script. But yeah, it's like, I don't know where exactly the story's going.
Well, I think
that's like,
we're gonna find out who's in the stasis machine, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know tons of spoilers. I actually know who it is, and the character's being voiced by the lead singer of Slipknot, which is not a band I ever liked, but I mean.
Oh yeah, I read about that. Yeah.
People I like that band, so that's cool. Whatever. But it's Cookie Monster rock. So yeah. But I mean, as far as like, it's hard for us to say. That's why it's like after this podcast, we're not going to do any more in the middle. Is that cool with you? Because like,
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
it's not enough time to speculate.
Schedule wise.
Yeah, our schedules are crazy, and I think that's, hey, they're kind of doing us a solid, but that way we can like dissect the episode more, because honestly, whatever my take is for this episode, the next episode when they introduce this character, it'll be completely different, and you can see like some of the dead characters are alive next episode, so they go back in time to before the flood.
The initial ghost.
Yeah,
because you go to the initial ghost is there when you see him. And then it's the whole thing of like, well, what happened to the doctor in the past, and like him going back to the past, fixing or rectifying this, because they have the trailer. It does give the impression that she's the doctor being like, I can see your ghost in front of me. What the fuck happened?
Yeah. That's that was awesome. But like you said earlier, my favorite thing about this episode was, again, what Moffat what has really been strong in Capaldi's era is the guest cast members have been.
Yep.
I mean, like, even the Robin Hood episode, they were great. The guest actors were great. That little dumb medieval Viking, whatever, the medieval guy from the prologue, that guy was great, who turned into the human Dalek. Like, it's been really spot on, and I love that they've kind of like went down a little bit on their special effects budget, so some of the stuff looks kind of cheesy again. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's great.
No, that's what makes the show great, though, when it throws a little bit of the cheese, or it's just like,
it's really feeling like Doctor Who.
Because the thing about this episode, my one concern was I didn't want it to be another Waters of Mars, because it had that same feel of trapped at like kind of like a certain spot, and now they're being picked off one by one. But again, it wasn't like you had like the initial accident death, and then you had someone else die, and then that was it.
Well, yeah, and they've had so many of those. Like the Impossible Planet, and then like half the original series were people getting. It's a siege plot, people getting picked off, which is great. That's good. I mean, the Doctor Who in an impossible situation. That's what we like to see him think his way out of it. And that's the greatest thing about this character. He doesn't fight his way. He doesn't blow his way out. He thinks his way out.
Well, that was also one of the things I liked about going back to the Witches from Familiar was at the very beginning of Missy being like, you know him. What's he thinking? How do you think he did it? What's it, to be like, the Doctor, what would he be doing right now? Where it's like you spend enough time with someone, you do pick up their traits. And that's the one thing I've noticed, like with the whole will, or his will being given to Missy. He does kind of have like, there's that part where this episode started where the Doctor really was kind of like, why did like the TARDIS brought us here, but why did she bring us here? But she doesn't want to be here, kind of thing. It's like that whole thing where it's like, she's there, where he kept referring to be like, she doesn't want to be here. And then when they got separated, with the water coming in, he was just like, you're stuck here with those two people because you're going to jump to where you are, because she does not want to be here in general. So he's like, we'll travel back, you stay put. But you do have this there has been like, she's very much like, what about this? Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Where she has where it's that full on, like, it's that full on acceptance of this life where it's like, I think you go back to like Rose having those things too, of wanting, just continuing the continuing adventure, never wanting the adventure to end.
Never wanting the venture to, you know what? You're right. It does feel like that season 2 Rose. That's an interesting point you bring up. And again, this is something that'll get answered next episode. Exactly. Is why did the TARDIS bring them somewhere she doesn't want to go? Because the TARDIS does. So I think that there might be something bigger that will carry on the plot. Because what I really want to find out, I want to find out what's happening in this episode. But as usual, I'm a fan of the overarching plot. That's always been my favorite thing. Is the Bad Wolf and the crack in the universe. Those are my favorite things. I like it when they do that. So I'm wondering what is going to be the plot this season. I think it's going to be that prophecy. I think there's still plot nuggets from. My favorite episode from last season was Mummy on the Orient Express.
That was a good one.
I want to know who the hell was Gus. Now it looked pretty obvious that he was Cyberman because if you looked at his monocle and the whole monocle picture, if you turned it upside down, it's the Cyberman like circle within a circle thing.
Yeah.
I know I'm thinking it too much, but I mean everybody else noticed that on Reddit, so that's why I thought of it. So I mean, I think there's going to be a Cyberman Dalek Master connection.
Well,
there was that rumor that David Tennant and Russell T Davies were in Cardiff filming, and they are going to address Peter Capaldi's face. And him being in two other, and we've talked about that in previous, him being in Torchwood and also in Fires of Pompeii. I think they were just there to film like some behind the scenes stuff for the DVD. To be honest with you, I don't think Tennant would just show up in an episode. I think it has to be something amazing for him to show back up. But I mean, I wish, even if it was for a second, that'd be fine. Just to see Tennant at any moment is great. And I do believe that when they end the series, and this will end again, in some way or another, that they'll bring them all back. They'll bring Captain Jack back. They'll have it. It'll be fun to watch. It'll be sad but fun. Rumors and predictions for the rest of the season and 2016. So it looks pretty clear that 2016 will not be a full season. I predict it will be specials. I first thought it would be split, but I think it's gonna be specials.
Is this season scheduled to end around Christmas and then do the Christmas special? Or
yeah, well, it's weird that
we're already 3 episodes in.
It's running all the way through with no interruptions, and it's gonna end like 3 weeks before the Christmas special. So that's actually gonna be like another episode of the season.
Break.
It's gonna be a break. There will be no Clara, so River Song will be in it in some way or fashion, but she will be the companion. And that's gonna be great. But then what happens after that?
It's gonna be awesome, man.
And
exactly.
We keep on hearing there's this big bomb dropping at the end of the year. They just introduced Missy. They've just announced a spin-off show called Class, which is gonna be like Harry Potter meets Doctor Who. Which
I love that someone made a joke saying the recurring character is a building.
I know.
It's taking place. It's the Cole. Was it Cole
School? Well, hey, the recurring character of Doctor Who's a blue box. Is a blue police box. I also heard rumors that they're trying to bring K9 back in some way, shape, or form, and they almost brought him back. I know K9. But I think there's going to be a lot of revelations at the end of this year, and I think the bomb is going to drop, and I think Capaldi will do some specials, and then he will regenerate, and I do predict, and I'm going to say this strongly now, there was a wild rumor that Richard Madden, Robb Stark, was being considered as Doctor Who. I think that's only because he's Clara's boyfriend, but I absolutely 100% believe that they're going to get a young Doctor again. I think the BBC was split on this decision, and it's just obvious. Look, they're trying to make Capaldi look young at every. I mean, they gave him Sonic sunglasses, and he's dressed in like a punk rocker. They're trying to make him young, so it kind of boggles my mind. Not that he's doing a bad job or anything like that. I just think he's a meh doctor. He's a really good, solid doctor. But, I don't think your wife or girlfriend ever wants to hear that. You're really just a good, solid girlfriend. You need to be extraordinary. You need to be in love. You need to be fully in love. Yeah. Okay, so, and everybody knows my feelings on that. But it's not like I don't like Capaldi. I just think they could do better. And especially the wave they were riding, here. And they're screaming about the ratings in England, but the ratings over here are huge. I mean, Doctor Who is huge, so it's not going to get canceled. It's BBC's cash cow, so they can make movies. I hope they don't. I think what they would do if they were smart, syndicate it. Instead of making it married to a network, let it, put it on something where it can go anywhere, or put it on, like you can produce it, and there's ways to make money.
Back in the day, that's what the PBS used to air. And I want to say the first time I saw an episode of Who, which was in season 2, it was just like a random night. I was like channel surfing past CBS, or not CBS, PBS, and it was like on. And I think I caught like the beginning of it, going like, "What the fuck is this?" And then it's like when I was watching the show, going like, "That was the episode." Okay.
Yeah, and hey, Doctor Who's on Disney XD right now. Did you know that?
No.
The 10th Doctor's episodes are on Disney X freaking D. So right with Marvel and all that stuff. So Disney XD is like a really cool channel. And by the way, if you haven't seen the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon, and I am not a fan of cartoons anymore. I'm old. I'm 46. The Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon is the shit. It's great.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Find it. I don't have DirecTV or anything. I just Hulu the crap out of stuff and whatever. So
that's mostly.
Yeah. So Harry, you want more Missy? Obviously, I want more Missy. By the way, I did check out the action figure.
I want more Missy.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I got a couple on the way. Can I show our latest action figure, which is I gotta make sure this camera's still on. It's the Curator. It's the Curator, and only a Doctor Who fan could get excited about an 80-year-old man and a painting. And look, it says right here. If you could read that, with walking stick accessory. It says with walking stick accessory. That is awesome, and it's Tom Baker.
That's genius.
And it's a lenticular painting, and it's just freaking awesome, man. So.
Oh, that is awesome.
It made me happy. So, yeah, I'm gonna.
That's what I needed to end my night.
That's good. We'll end it right there. I will throw some video of Harry, of his alter ego Precious Envy up, because folks, you got to see it. It's the shit. It's great. So and I'm performing next Wednesday night. What? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about where are you performing at?
My local dive bar, which is the only place that will let me get on stage right now. No, it's called Rock Bar. It's at the very end of Christopher Street in New York City. It's where I can be found most nights in the city, because I'm an alcoholic there. Where I was kids until 3:30 this morning. But yeah, no, it's their Wednesday night lineup as of last night is drag show, burlesque show, screening of American Horror Story Hotel. Oh my God, Gary, the blood orgy was everything.
I'm gonna have to see that.
Everything, and the entire thing. There's no dialogue. It's just the "She Wants Revenge, I want to fucking tear you apart" is played the entire time. It's Lady Gaga, Matt Bomber, and 2 extras, and it is, oh my God, like everyone was like, yes,
that's awesome.
Yes, give it to us, Gaga. And then a jockstrap party. So that's what Harry does on Wednesday nights, kids.
That's
what I do.
That sounds fun. I mean,
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but I drink way too much. And the thing is, Wednesdays are my Sundays. So I technically should have left when American Horror Story ended, but I didn't. And so this is why I sound and feel like shit. Because I passed out at 4, woke up at 8:30, and was crawled myself out of bed to be like, crap, I'm gonna work.
Oh no.
Luckily it wasn't that bad. So it wasn't that bad of a day. I only had to share 3 apartments.
Well, if you keep drinking like that, you can always end up where what my social evenings are is just going to. I hang out with drunks too, but the ones that don't drink, and we talk about it, and it's really kind of sad. Mm-hmm. But it's healthy too. It's really healing.
No. See, I only had 3 beers the course of the night, and then my friend whose birthday ended up being today, I was like, I'll have 1 mixed drink with you, which turned into 3 mixed drinks with him.
They all.
And they have heavy hands there.
They do. Hands. In New York, that's unusual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we will wrap this. We kept it short. We kept it sweet.
Yes.
So
my computer only died twice this time. Kids.
There you go.
Twice.
So we will do a podcast at the end of every 2-parter. There's only one. There's only one single standalone episode. That's a Gatus episode. We might do one after that, depending on our schedule.
Well, mostly for me, Mondays and Thursdays work best, just because Tuesday and Wednesday nights I'm usually out, and then my weekends are always hit or miss, depending on. Sometimes I'm I'm not doing anything, so it's I'm fine. But Monday nights is that's my Friday, so it's usually I'm usually very chill to recuperate myself for the 2 days. And then tonight's usually I'm very out of it and just it's perfect time to sit here and just talk. Yeah.
Well, our co-host Robert Cherry will get all 3 of us at once. chance. He was at Disneyland this weekend. Hope he had a great time. And
Disney.
so we will see you next Monday. We will shoot for Monday.
Okay, it's Columbus Day, so I'm off work. So.
Oh, hey, so am I. Yay.
Yeah, so we can do earlier too if you want to. Yeah, we can do early in the day too.
I think we can pull that one off. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Until next time, the Cult of Frisco
Oh, then again, San
says
Francisco.
good night. Good night. Bye,
Good
Harry.
night. Bye, Gary. Give hugs, everyone.
I will. Thank you.
Hey, bye.
Lost.
The Cult of
Frisco!